Welcome students. In this lecture we are going to discuss another topic in the series of the chapter Python functions, and that is types of formal arguments. Now children, we have made several functions till now, and you have seen that whenever you make any function, that function is utilized only when you make a call to it or you write the invocation statement of that function. Okay, so just like you can see this program here, in which you have a function named product, and it is receiving two variables which are called parameters, and then it is multiplying these two variables and producing the result. And in the main function we have taken input of x and y, and these x and y are sent to the function product. So whenever you make any function call, you can see this is the function call statement of this function. And whenever you make this function call, you know that if this function is receiving some parameters which are also called formal arguments. So remember that here formal arguments refer to the variables which are present in the function header, right? So whenever you call any function, and if this function requires some arguments, or you can say parameters, then the values for those parameters have to be sent from the function call statement, which can be received by these formal arguments, and then the function performs its allocated task on these variables, right? So our discussion in today's video is about what are the various types of formal arguments that you can write within this parameter list. Okay, so see here, depending upon the types of parameters and argument argument matching, the formal arguments are basically of three types, that is positional arguments, keyword arguments, and default arguments. But before coming into the details of these types of arguments, I would first like you to recall how these variables used to get copied over how these arguments used to get copied over the parameters or formal arguments, right? What used to happen when you pass x and y for a and b, then the value of this x was received by a and the value of y was received by b. So what you see here, that the first value that you send is received by the first variable, and the second value is received by the second variable. Clear? Means position wise these arguments are copied over the parameters. Second thing, if there are two parameters in the function header, then it is necessary, or you can say it is mandatory for you to send two values in the function call statement so that they can be received here. So neither you can send any extra value here, nor you can send any less values here. So the number of values sent as parameters must be exactly equal to the number of values present in the parameter list, right? So let us now discuss positional arguments in detail. Children, positional arguments are those formal arguments in which the matching of arguments with the parameters is done position wise or order wise. Okay, so till now most of the programs, or almost all the programs that you have made so far, were actually following this style of or you can say this kind of formal arguments, in which the arguments were matched with parameters position wise. Okay, so in this case you know that there are two things which are necessary. First is that the arguments must be provided for all the parameters. Yes children, as I told you few minutes back, that when you make a function, okay, so in that function, if that parameter is if that function is receiving some parameters, then it is mandatory for you to send the values for all those parameters from the function call statement. Like in this program, you can see that we have a simple int function which is receiving 3 parameters. So if these formal parameters have to fall in the category of positional parameters, then it is necessary for the function call statement to send the values for all these parameters from the function call statement. Okay, so you can see in the program that this is the function call statement, right, for the function simple int. Now here you can see that three values are sent because there are 3 variables in the function header, right. Now this p is copied on print. Why? Because the first variable in the function call statement, or you can say the first value in the function call statement, is delivered to the first parameter in the function header. In the same way, second is delivered to the second parameter, third is delivered to the third parameter. So till now you have whatever way you were using for matching or copying these arguments over parameters was the way of positional arguments only. So here it is mandatory that you have to provide values for all the parameters, means you don't have any option. I have told you that you can neither give any extra value nor any less value. So it means you have to provide the exact number of values in the function call statement as there are parameters in the function header. Now second important point about these positional arguments is that since you are going to provide values for all the parameters, therefore these are mandatory to be provided, and hence these positional arguments are also called mandatory arguments or required arguments. So you can say these are another name for the same type of, that is positional arguments. So in because of this condition, which is, or you can say because of this restriction, these positional arguments are also called mandatory or required arguments. Then the second important condition is that values of arguments are matched position wise, that is order wise, which means that first value to the first variable, second to the second, and so on. But what problem arises if I don't provide the values in the correct order in case of positional arguments? Means, like I said, that the first value is given to the first variable, second is given to the second variable, and third is given to the third variable. But if I don't pass the values in the right order, then will the system give me error? This is the point here. So let us see. Suppose this is the function student details, and I have 3 different variables, and now you know that name will be a string value, age will be an integer value, and percentage will be a float value, right. Now if for this function I make a function call, I write student details, okay, and then I pass the name as Ravi and age as 16 and percentage as 83.4. Then see, Ravi will be given to name, 16 will be given to age, and 83.4 will be given to PERC. It is perfectly okay. But if I change the order in the function call, I write 16 first, and then I write Ravi, and then I write 83.4. Now, as per positional matching, 16 will be given to name, Ravi will be given to age. But now you tell me, are these valid values? Should name be 16 and can the age of any person be Ravi? No. So here, remember, system will not give you any error, because what happens in Python? As soon as you provide value to a variable, it simply makes that variable of that kind. तो यहाँ पे जब आप 16 देंगे नेम को तो उसको लगेगा कि आप नेम एक इंटीजर वेरिएबल ही बनाना चाहते थे और इसलिए उसने 16 वैल्यू दे दी और 16 वैल्यू वो प्रिंट भी कर देगा। लेकिन जब आपको ये आउटपुट दिखेगा कि नेम इज 16 तो आपको ये आउटपुट डिजायरेबल नहीं लगेगा, आपको लगेगा कि ये वैल्यू मैंने गलत भेज दी। मीन्स यू विल नॉट बी सेटिस्फाइड विद द आंसर, ऑल्दो सिस्टम विल गिव द आंसर एंड विल बी सेटिस्फाइड दैट आई हैव परफॉर्म द वे माई प्रोग्रामर इंस्ट्रक्टेड मी टू परफॉर्म। ठीक है, एंड रवि विल बी गिवन टू 16 to age and system will think that you wanted this age to receive a string value, तो ये एज को स्ट्रिंग बना देगा और स्ट्रिंग के जैसा प्रिंट भी कर देगा। लेकिन क्या किसी पर्सन की एज रवि हो सकती है? नहीं। एंड व्हेन आंसर विल कम यू विल बी अनसैटिस्फाइड विद द आंसर। सो इफ यू मेक चेंज इन द ऑर्डर of the values in the function call statement in case of positional arguments, then system is not going to give you error. You will not be satisfied with the given error, and that is the problem, and that is why it is said that always give the values in the correct order in the function call statement for positional arguments so that you are satisfied with the output. This type of argument matching with parameters is called positional argument matching. Then the second type of argument is keyword argument. Now children, you know that positional argument posed two restrictions over the method of passing arguments for the parameters, and those were that you have to provide values for all the parameters, and secondly the arguments are copied over parameters position wise. But this keyword argument removes one of these two restrictions which are posed by positional arguments over these formal parameters. So the restriction that it removes is that there is no need of matching the arguments position wise. Means this time what you will do, you will be able to take the name of the parameter and then directly assign value to it, and because of that you don't have to bother about the order of parameters while passing arguments for it. So keyword arguments are those arguments, or you can say these are the named arguments which are assigned values in the function call statement with the help of their names as parameters. Now what does this mean? This means that arguments must be provided for all the parameters. This is mandatory. So you cannot skip the value for any of the parameters. ये तो पक्का है. But the second thing is that parameters are assigned values by their name in the function call statement. Means you will be taking name of the parameter and then assigning value to it. So when you will be taking name, then there will be no confusion. Okay, so one thing that you have to keep in mind, that whenever you use the name, you must use the same name which are there in the function header. You cannot make change in the name of these parameters while calling the function. So look at this program. Here you have simple int function, same as we took in the last type of argument, and here you can see I have taken input for prnt to be sent to the simple int function, and this you can see is the first call to simple int function. Now here see what I am doing. I am writing print is equal to p. You know that p is the value input by user for principal. So I am taking name of the first parameter and assigning the value to it. So p is assigned to print. So whatever user inputs for the value of p will be assigned to the print variable, print parameter. In the same way, second I have assigned the value for time. So I don't have to bother about the sequence of parameters in the parameter list. So here you can see time is equal to t. So t is the value input by user for time, and I am assigning that to time variable, and then rate is equal to r. So here I have specified values for all the parameters, but bothering about their order is not our concern. You can see I have written one more function call statement. in which I have directly assigned the values. See, rate is assigned the value 8, then print is assigned the value 5000, and time is assigned the value 2. So you can directly assign the values also, and you can take the input of values from user and then assign those values. But remember that you have to pass values for all the arguments, but you don't have to bother about their order. Then the third type of argument is the default argument. Children, this argument is a special one and you need to know many things about it. First of all, what are default arguments? Default arguments are those formal arguments which are provided with some default value in the function header. Like you can see in the function here, earlier these three parameters had no value written in the function header, right? But this time you can see that rate is given the value 6 and time is given the value 3. These are called the default values, and such parameters which are provided with some default value in the function header are called default parameters. Now, what flexibility do these parameters give to the function call statement? See, positional argument said give the values for all the arguments in the correct order. Okay, then keyword argument said give the values for all the arguments but don't bother about their sequence. Then third is the default parameter which says it is not mandatory to give values for all the parameters in the argument in the parameter list. Why? Because this time this default arguments will be provided with some default value, and it says that if in case user skips the value of these parameters in the function call statement, then this function will make use of their default values to perform its operation. And if in case the user sends the value, then it is mandatory for the function to utilize the values which are sent from the function call statement. ओके तो अगर यहाँ पे डिफ़ॉल्ट आर्ग्यूमेंट्स की वैल्यू मिस कर दी जाए, तो मतलब फंक्शन कॉल स्टेटमेंट में डिफ़ॉल्ट आर्ग्यूमेंट्स की वैल्यू मिस कर दे, तो इट विल मेक यूज़ ऑफ द वैल्यूज़ विच आर प्रोवाइडेड एज डिफ़ॉल्ट वैल्यूज़. और अगर हम नहीं देते हैं देन इन दैट केस इट विल मेक यूज़ ऑफ द वैल्यूज़ विच आर मीन्स हम देते हैं तो उस केस में ये वो वैल्यूज़ यूज़ करेगा जो हमने भेजी हैं. In that case it is not an option for this function to either make use of this value or the provided value. In that case it has to make use of the value which is provided in the function call statement. Clear? So default arguments give you the flexibility of not specifying values for all the arguments, all the parameters which are present in the function call statement. Now, so if this is the function which is having some default parameters, what all can be the call statement of this function? So first is, as you can see that rate and time both are having a default value. Okay, so I can call this function simple int and only pass the value for principal. Now in this case what will happen? Print will be given the value 5000, 50,000, rate will be taken as 6 and time will be taken as 3, and the simple interest will be calculated and the result will be given. Now here you see you have not provided value for all the arguments, you have only provided value for the mandatory argument. So here you see when this argument was not provided any default value, so this is acting like a mandatory argument or you can say positional argument. Okay, so in case of default arguments, the values that you are providing in the function call statement, they will be delivered to the parameters position wise, but only the flexibility is that you can skip the values for those parameters which are given default value. Clear? Now here I have only given the value for print, so accordingly the simple interest will be calculated. Now in the second function call, see I am again calling simple int function and passing the value for print variable and for rate. Suppose rate I pass as 8. So this time whatever parameters you have provided here na, they will be delivered position wise. Okay, so 60,000 will be given to print and 8 will be assigned to rate, and system will understand that you have not provided the value for time variable here. But now one problem comes. Suppose you want that 60,000 should be given to print and 8 should be given to time. But this thing will not happen, because I told you that in case of default arguments, you are allowed to skip the values for those parameters which are having default values. But for those parameters which are not provided default value, they act like positional arguments, which are required arguments or mandatory arguments, and it is necessary for you to provide values for the required arguments. And what happens in case of required arguments? Values are copied position wise. So here 60,000 will be given to print and 8 will be given to rate only. You cannot make system understand in any way that this 8 you want to send for time. So this is the condition for your default arguments. Now next, suppose you want to do this thing. Okay, so we have a solution for it. What we can do? We write 60,000 like this only, and for delivering this 8 to time, we can make this a keyword argument. So if I make this a keyword argument, what will happen? You will write this as time is equal to 8. Now by combining positional and keyword arguments, you are able to do what you wanted to do. 60,000 will be position wise given to print, and when it will come to 8, it will see that this 8 has been allotted to time. You have taken the name of the parameter and then provided the value to it, right? So this will be given to time. So this time rate will utilize the value 6 for itself. Okay, so this is the solution to the problem. But if you don't give this solution, then in that case 8 will be assigned to rate variable only. Clear? Now another function call can be simple int. Suppose 90,000. I am providing the values for all the three. Then 5, then 2. So see here, this time I have provided values for all the three. So it is not necessary to skip the value for the default arguments in the function call statement. You just have the option. If you want, you can skip. If you don't want, you can give. Okay, so this time 90,000 will be given to print, 5 to rate, and 2 will be given to the variable time, and simple interest will be calculated. Right. So these are the three ways in which you can make a call to this function. But now children, see that these default arguments have a condition with them. And what is that condition? That you can make a formal parameter default only if all the parameters on its right hand side are also default. Clear? इसका मतलब कि आप किसी फॉर्मल आर्ग्यूमेंट को डिफॉल्ट तभी बना सकते हैं जब उसके राइट हैंड साइड में आने वाले सारे पैरामीटर्स भी डिफॉल्ट वैल्यू रखते हों. This means that suppose this is the function in which none of the variables are having a default value. Now if suppose you want to give a default value to rate, suppose you want to give the value 3 to the default value 3 to the rate, and you do not give any default value to the time variable. Now see what will happen. Here the system will give you error, and there is a logic reason why the system will give you error. Now see, if I make a call to this function, you know that whenever we provide a default value to any of the parameters, then we get an option to send the value for it or not to send the value for it. Now if in case I make a function call statement, I will write simple int, okay, and after this, since p is not having any default value, so I have to provide value for it, so I provide the value for principal. Then I feel that I have already provided a default value for rate, so why should I give value for rate? I will not give. And then the second value that I want to give is 3, which is for time, or say it is 4. 4 you want to deliver to time. But like I said that in case of default arguments also, the values are delivered position wise. So 60,000 will be given to P and 4 will be given to rate. It will not be given to T in this situation. Now the question arises, why will system give error in this statement? Now like I said that 60,000 will be given to P and rate, and 4 will be given to rate. Okay, now system gives error because you have not provided value for T. It says that give me the value for T, बिकॉज ये आपकी इस बात को नहीं समझ पाया कि ये 4 वैल्यू आप टी को देना चाहते थे, तो फिर उसने 4 की वैल्यू पोजीशन वाइज आर को दे दी. तो आर विल नॉट मेक यूज ऑफ 3, आर विल मेक यूज ऑफ 4. Then where is the value for t? T is not having default value. Then how can it make this function call? क्योंकि t is a mandatory argument. क्योंकि आपने इसको डिफॉल्ट वैल्यू नहीं दी तो ये मैंडेटरी बन गया, तो आपको इसकी वैल्यू तो देनी पड़ेगी, विच यू हैव नॉट प्रोवाइडेड इन दिस फंक्शन कॉल. So that is why system will give you error on this. Now you will come to know why this condition is applied here. It says if you want to make it default, make this also default. So if I make a small change in this code and I give any default value to time, now this function call statement will no longer be an erroneous statement. Why? 60,000 will be given to P, 4 will be given to R and T is having its default value. तो यहाँ पे 4 रेट को मिला और हमने यहाँ पे T के लिए वैल्यू नहीं दी, तो उसने सोचा हम डिफॉल्ट यूज कर ली. दैट इज वाई इट इज सेड दैट इफ यू वांट टू मेक एनी ऑफ द पैरामीटर्स डिफॉल्ट, देन यू हैव 2 ऑप्शन. वन इज to simply bring the parameter with to whom you want to provide default value at the rightmost position. मतलब इसको सबसे आखिरी में ले आइए ताकि उसके बाद कोई पैरामीटर रहे ही नहीं. ठीक है, एक तो ये ऑप्शन है. दूसरा ऑप्शन ये है कि अगर आपने इसको बनाया डिफॉल्ट तो आपको इसको बनाना ज़रूरी है, वरना इस तरीके के कॉल स्टेटमेंट्स आपको एरर देंगे. Then the next thing is when to make a formal argument as default. Okay, the situation where we can make any parameter default. The situation is that when we feel that most of the time any formal parameter will always have the same value, but only in exceptional situations its value can be different, then in that case we give this default value to the parameter. जैसे कि सपोज आपको लगता है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम रेट की वैल्यू 3 ही रहती है आपके बैंक में, ठीक है, लेकिन suppose any exceptional situation occurs and suddenly the rate of interest increases to 4, then in that case there is no need to make a change in this function. You just need to alter the function call statement. See, so if you don't want R to make use of value 3, then you send value for R, and if you want that it should make the value it should make use of 3 only as the rate of interest, then don't send the value. So if you feel that most of the time any of the formal arguments is going to have the same value, then in that case we provide the default value to that formal parameter. Then next we discuss the advantages of default parameters, means in which situation they will be helpful or what positive points it provides to any of the parameters, formal parameters, right? See, the first advantage is that they can be used to add new parameters in any existing function. This means, suppose you have this function is sum and it is receiving two variables and it is adding them to give the answer. Now if I make a function call for this function, then simply I have to give two values. Suppose I give 7 and 3. These are the two values that I am sending for A and B respectively. So 7 will be received by A. These are positional arguments, 7 to A and 3 to B. And then the result will be calculated and 10 will be printed as the sum. Right. Now the advantage says that you can add new parameters in any existing function, and you will see that there adding that new parameter will have no syntactical error in the existing code. Now suppose I add a new parameter here. So for this I add, suppose c is equal to 10. Now this is the new parameter that I have added to this function. तो इसके ऐड होने से कुछ ना कुछ गलती आनी चाहिए कोड में, लेकिन आप देखोगे क्योंकि इस c के पास डिफ़ॉल्ट वैल्यू के साथ है ये, इसलिए c के ऐड होने से इस पूरे कोड में even in the function call you will not find any syntactical error. Now see, if for this function now I make this function call statement, then 7 will be given to A, 3 will be given to B, and C will make use of its default value. Okay, so see, this function call statement is still right, although we added a new parameter. And why it is still right? Because this new parameter is having its default value. But in the same case, suppose I add a new parameter but do not give a default value to it. नया पैरामीटर तो ऐड कर रहे हैं लेकिन डिफॉल्ट वैल्यू ऐड नहीं कर रहे हैं. अब देखिए इसमें सिंटैक्टिकल एरर आएगी. Why? 7 will be given to A, 3 will be given to B. Now C is a positional argument. C is a mandatory argument whose value has to be provided in the function call statement, and therefore this statement turns out to be wrong. So if you add a new parameter and along with that parameter you provide the default value for that parameter also, then in that case the existing code will have no effect, and that is what it is saying, that you have the option to add new parameters in any existing function. Now if you are thinking that if okay I am giving the default value also and I am adding this new parameter but it is nowhere used in the function, so you can simply write plus c over here. Now you can see c is being used also inside the function body, and this time sum will be not 10, it will be 20. Clear? Now the second advantage is that default arguments can be used to combine similar functions into one. Now this means that on one side you are making multiple functions for accomplishing a task, and other side you make use of default arguments, and a function with default argument will alone perform the work of all those multiple functions. Now this will be clear to you only when you see an example regarding it. Suppose we have these three functions. First one is sim. In all these three functions the basic work is to calculate simple interest. Okay. In the first case the name of the function is sim and we are only providing value for principal, because we want that principal can be anything but rate and time will be 5.6 and 3 respectively. So every time you want to do calculate SI in this way, you have to make call to this function. Clear? So if I want to call this function, what statement I will write? I will write sim, and suppose I send the value for principal as 5000. So this is going to be the call statement for the first version of the function. Now if I want to call this function simple, now this function is receiving principal and rate, and time it has fixed to be 3. So principal and rate will be sent by the function call statement, which will be used here, and 3 will be the time which is fixed. So it will calculate simple interest like this. So for this, what will be the function call statement? Name of the function is simple, and suppose for P I pass 5000 and for rate I pass 5, for rate I pass 8, suppose. Okay, now next function is simple int function, which requires the values for all the 3, principal, rate and time, and whatever values will be sent by the function call statement, they will be received here, and accordingly the simple interest will be calculated. So for this, what kind of a statement I can have? Simple underscore int, 5000 for principal, 8 for rate, and time 2 for time. Okay, so these are 3 multiple different types of functions which are actually performing the same work, that is to calculate principal, that is to calculate simple interest. Okay, now see, I can combine these 3 functions into just one function by making use of default values, and this function alone can perform the work of all the 3 functions. Matlab, you can make this function behave like the first function also, second function also, and third function also. And what will be different? Only there will be a little bit difference in the function call statement. Okay, तो ये इसको आप किसी के जैसा भी behave कर पाएंगे, and for this you see its function call statement. Suppose I want this function to behave like the first version of the simple interest function, that is sim function. So I have to, what function call it will be made? Interest, and I send the value only 5000. I can send only 5000 because rate and t are having the default values. तो पहले केस में देखिए क्या कैलकुलेट हो रहा था, 5000 p के लिए यूज हो रहा था, रेट के लिए 5.6 यूज हो रहा था, और टाइम के लिए 3 यूज हो रहा था. तो इस केस में भी देखो 5000, 5.6 and 3. Clear? So because of this function call, this function is behaving like the first function. Then if I want it to behave like this function, I have to send the value for principal and rate. So what I do? I write interest, and I pass 5000 and 8. Now see, you can 5000 will be given to p, and r will be given the value 8, and t will be utilized as 3 only. So see what was being calculated here, 5000 into 8 into 3. Same is the case here. See, 5000 into 8 into t will make use of its default value, that is 3. तो यहाँ पे भी तो बिल्कुल वही कैलकुलेट हो रहा है, वही रिजल्ट आएगा जो ये फंक्शन दे रहा था आपको. ठीक है. So due to this function call, it is behaving like the second function. Now see the third function. Here all the 3 values are given. तो हमने 3 values ये दी थी, हम इसको भी तीनों values दे सकते हैं. I write interest, 5000, 8 and 2. अब देखो क्या होगा, 5000 मिलेगा p को, 8 मिलेगा रेट को, और टाइम को मिलेगा 2. सो व्हाट इट वाज कैलकुलेटिंग बिकॉज ऑफ दिस फंक्शन कॉल, 5000 इंटू 8 इंटू 2 डिवाइड बाई 100. तो देखिए इसमें भी तो वो यही करेगा, 5000 इंटू 8 इंटू 2 डिवाइड बाई 100. तो इसने देखिए आपको वही रिजल्ट दिया जो कि ये फंक्शन कॉल दे रहा था. तो इन 3 फंक्शन को हम एक फंक्शन में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं by making use of these default parameters, and that is why it is said that you can combine similar functions into a single function with the help of these default parameters. It was possible, it was made possible only because of these default parameters only. So children, this was all about the types of arguments or formal arguments in any function definition. And in the next lecture we will discuss the topic scope of a variable.